Chocolate happens to be one of my favorite notes when it comes to perfumery, and I wanted to share some of my favorite chocolate fragrances just in time for the fall. So here we have 7 perfumes ranging from very inexpensive to niche prices, and I'm excited to share them all with you. But before we get into it, if this is your first time watching my channel, hello, my name is Anya and I publish fragrance videos on YouTube every single Wednesday. I love to talk about all spectrums of fragrances, from niche options to affordable as well. So if you're interested in joining, be sure to subscribe. Full disclosure, some of these fragrances I do have in their full bottle form. Some other ones I have in decants, and I do have a lot of samples. This just enables me to try more perfumes for you. So I'm going to start off with my little decant of Chocolate Greedy by Montal. This is a very mid-range perfume. You might have already heard about it. It's one of the most renowned chocolate fragrances out there, and it is a really pretty fragrance with notes of cocoa, vanilla, tonka, dried fruits, bitter orange, and I might be missing something. I don't think so. Let me check my notes. And coffee. So for me personally, when I got this fragrance, I was getting a lot of the, initially, I was getting a lot of bitter orange with that chocolate and with that cocoa, and I wasn't really sure how to feel about that. So originally when I got this fragrance, I didn't know what the hype was all about because to my nose, it was just a very unpleasant chocolate smell. I just couldn't get behind it. I put it away for a few months, and I believe after 6 months, I tried it again, and I actually really enjoyed it. Something about the dried fruits had kind of settled down a bit, and I was able to find it a lot more palatable. This is a really pretty fragrance. I do enjoy my decant. I wear this occasionally, but in my personal opinion, it's not full bottle worthy for me, even though it smells amazing. But there are some fragrances in here that I'm absolutely lusting after. This is just a staple, I think, in anyone's fragrance collection, and I personally happen to have a decant of it. This next one is absolutely one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection, and you can tell how much I love it by just how much of a dent I have in the spray version, and then I also have my oil version as well, or the oil version of this perfume. So this is Olive Hab's Choco Musk. This is a powdery vanilla based fragrance with a lot of like this powdered chocolate accord. This smells very much like Cocoa Puffs in my opinion. It just smells really beautiful. It smells very comforting. I've gotten compliments on this one, and it does come in an oil form. So the oil form stays on all day, and if you put on more, it kind of radiates off of you, but the oil has more longevity than sillage. This one has more of a sillage, but it doesn't have as high of a longevity. So I love this for layering with other fragrances if I want to add a bit of a gourmand element to them. So this gets a lot of use in my collection. I believe this bottle you can get for around $10 or even cheaper than that using my Amazon storefront. And I absolutely love the oil as well. I actually keep the oil on hand. I have like 12 backups of it. I forgot to count, but I have a lot of backups of that oil because it's just a staple for me. I love it. I get compliments whenever I wear it, and it's just such a good, affordable option if you're interested in getting started with some chocolate fragrances, but you don't want to necessarily pay an exorbitant amount for a gourmand perfume. If you kind of want to get into it, but you want something cheap, this is a good option. It's really, really good, and I've gotten compliments on it from people who didn't even know they were smelling a fragrance. People were walking past me, and they're like, oh, I smell cookies. I'm like, that's me. So yeah, that's a good thing. This is Olive Hab's Choco Musk. It's a fragrance that I absolutely love. And yes, it has musk in the name, but I personally just get like the powdery chocolate accord. So it's choco. Did I say chocolate musk or choco musk? It's choco musk. It's really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to take things a little bit more niche. This is on my wish list, and it's an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. It's by Narcotica. It's Dolce Diablo. You might have already heard of this one. I have no doubt that this will be a very hyped fragrance as we get into the autumn weather or autumn months. I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes, but this is an absolutely stellar fragrance. And some of the fragrances I have to share with you here today, some of them are more linear when it comes to chocolate, but some of them are more complex. This is definitely one of the latter. It's stunning. So when I smell this fragrance, I get a very photorealistic dried apricot with rum, cognac, a bit of florals in the form of freesia. There's some honey in here. But there's also a really beautiful iteration of chocolate and cocoa with some sandalwood at the base. Of course, there are a bunch of other notes, but that's what I smell personally, and I absolutely love this perfume. So where chocolate greedy to my nose, Montal's chocolate greedy, sometimes that dried fruit element has been a little bit too finicky for me. This, I've always loved this fragrance. I've never had an issue with it. And it's a very potent perfume as well. So I have like this small decant of it, but it has lasted me quite a bit. However, I do save it because this is a bit of an expensive fragrance. I believe it's close to like $300. So yeah, I love this perfume. This is really, really good. If you have an opportunity to get a decant, absolutely go for it, because if you are a chocolate lover and you happen to also love your dried fruits, this is stellar. This is really, really good. Like, this is one of the best chocolate fragrances I've ever smelled. I think for a time, this was pretty much like my top favorite chocolate perfume. And I think that actually still stands, but it's just one of those fragrances that's, the quality is really good, and the price also reflects that. So, Diablo, Dolce Diablo by Narcotica, absolute standout fragrance. Love this one. Next up, Nibras by Lattafa. You already know how much I love this fragrance. I talk about it all the time. This is a gorgeous chocolate perfume with a bit of a powdery element. It's kind of similar to Alderhop's Chocolate Musk, but it has more complexity to it in the form of red berries, mandarin orange. I believe, let me check my notes. Yeah, there's some rose in here, there's some vanilla, it has some patchouli and musk at the base. This is just a really pretty fragrance. It smells similar to the Eilish perfume. However, the Eilish fragrance to me, I just get a lot of like, kind of like, I don't get the gourmand aspect in it as much as I do with this one. This is straight up chocolate with a lot of other accents. However, the Eilish one, I just got the red berries and like the citrusy element. Um, I haven't smelled it in a while, so that's kind of like my interpretation of it. My interpretation when I smelled it was I wasn't getting the chocolate. And that's what I wanted from it. However, once I smelled this, I was like, this is like the refined, velvety version that just smells so much better. It's different, and it just smells really, really good. This is definitely a gourmand fragrance. I love this one, and the packaging on this is absolutely beautiful as well. So if you're looking for a fragrance that's very giftable, this is absolutely a great option. I love this fragrance. It's also pretty affordable at around $50. So Nibras by Lattafa. Another fragrance that's also on my wish list is by Trussardi. I don't speak Italian, so this is my attempt. Trussardi Passeggiata Vittorio Emanuele Duo. This is a beautiful fragrance, and I believe Trussardi is a designer house based in Italy. So there's that, but this is stunning. This is Nutella. It smells like Nutella with a bit of florals in here. So Nutella with hazelnut and chocolate. This smells like hyper realistic gourmand. So if you really like your chocolate notes, but you want something that's nutty, this is like pretty much, I think, the nuttiest fragrance that I have. That sounds so weird, but yeah, I love this one. I have made a dent in my decant, and I definitely will be getting the full bottle soon because it's gorgeous. It doesn't explicitly say that it has chocolate in here, but trust me when I say this is a Nutella perfume, and Nutella is chocolate. So yes, Trussardi Passeggiata Emanuele. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not gonna try anymore. But this is an absolutely beautiful fragrance. So if you want to smell like Nutella with jasmine and tuberose, this is a good option to try. It is gorgeous. How can I not talk about Venom of Love by Polina Shar for Navitus? This is a gorgeous perfume. I have talked about this before. The last time I spoke about it was in last week's video, but I'm going to mention it again because it is really good. This is like a very intense cherry perfume. It's like a cherry liqueur, but it also has a chocolate cherry note in here as well. So it's gorgeous. So if you love cherry, but you want something a bit darker, more seductive, and with that additional gourmand element of the dark, kind of like a dark chocolate cherry, this is gorgeous. I love it. This is strong. Possibly one of the strongest perfumes in my collection. I do not recommend spraying probably more than 1 or 2 sprays of this when you first try it. And I also recommend trying to either get a decant or get one of their sample sets. Navitus does offer sample sets. I originally got the decant, fell in love with it, then got the full bottle, and I absolutely think it's amazing. It's gorgeous. It lasts all day. It's just a beautiful cherry and chocolate fragrance, which I absolutely love, but it does have that boozy element. So it makes it very unique in my opinion. Since there's so many cherry fragrances out there, I feel like this stands on its own as a really beautiful, boozy interpretation of the cherry note with that gorgeous chocolate added. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is another fragrance that's on my wish list. I'm talking about Joel by Coquillette Parfum. This is a fragrance house that's not based in the US, so it's a little bit difficult to get a full-size bottle of this. I believe it's available on Lucky Scent, I think. But this is really good. So where Trussardi, Passeggiata, Emanuele, Vittorio, I am horrible. Whereas the Trussardi perfume was very hazelnut and nutty Nutella, but it had the florals. This is straight up nutty chocolate. So chocolate covered hazelnuts with cocoa and a bit of a tonka bean. This smells so good and so hyper realistic. I love this one. This is really, really good. I can't stop smelling it. So yes, this is Joe by Coquillette Parfum. Again, a very concentrated fragrance. This is on the strong side. Not as strong as Venom of Love, but still up there. But if you can get yourself a decant of this, I'd highly recommend doing so. It's just such a beautiful chocolate hazelnut perfume. So Joel by Coquillette Parfum. Alright, those are all the perfumes I had to share today. This video made me a bit hungry because some of these perfumes are so hyper realistic, it's insane. Thank you for watching till the end of this video. I hope you were able to find something that sparked your fancy, and I'll see you next week. Bye.